So hi guys, welcome to NatzMath TV. So in this video, we will continue with our discussion about the laws of exponents. So this time, we will have this laws of exponents, which is about the law on zero exponents and the law on negative exponents. So how do we simplify expressions containing a zero exponents or a negative exponents? So we will follow this law. According to the law on zero exponent, states that any number raised to 0 is just equal to 1. So, if we have a raised to 0, that is equal to 1. So, any number that is represented by letter a raised to 0 is just equal to 1. And for the law on negative exponent, that states that if any non-zero number is raised on negative exponent is just equal to the reciprocal or the positive reciprocal of the given expression. So for example, we are given a raised to negative n, it is just equal to 1 over a raised to positive n. So when we get the reciprocal of the expressions containing the negative exponent, we just simply write the positive exponents. So in this case, we have a raised to negative n, that is just equal to 1 over a raised to n. So let us try these examples here. So our first example is 5 raised to 0. So as I've said earlier, the law on zero exponent states that if any number raised to 0, that is just equal to 1. Since 5 is being raised to 0, so that means this expression is just equal to 1. Another example. So we have 4x squared quantity raised to 0. As you can see, our exponent here for 4 is 1 and the exponent for x is 2. So they are all positive. But because of this parenthesis, that indicates that the quantity inside the parenthesis is raised to 0. So everything inside the parenthesis is raised to 0. That means everything is also equal to 1. Okay, another example. This is different from the previous example. So we have 4x raised to 0. So unlike with the previous example where the quantity is being enclosed with a parenthesis and raised to 0. But in this case, we do not have a parenthesis here. Only x is being raised to 0. Our 4 is not raised to 0. Meaning, the exponent of 4 here is positive. We have an assumed exponent here, which is positive 1. So therefore, only x raised to 0 is equal to 1. So, if we are going to simplify this one, we can write 4. Since 4 has a positive exponent 1, so we just simply copy 4. Since the operation between 4 and x here is multiplication, so we can write times since it is multiplication. So parenthesis or period that indicates multiplication. And since x is raised to 0, so x is raised to 0, that means this expression here is equal to 1. So we have 4 times 1. Again, 4 is not raised to 0 because the exponent of 4 here is positive 1. So that's why we just simply copy 4. And x is raised to 0, so we apply the law on zero exponent, so that is equal to 1. The operation between 4 and x is multiplication, that's why we have 4 times 1. This is equal to 4, since 4 times 1 is of course equal to 4. So the simplified form for this expression is 4. Another example. So we have x squared quantity raised to 0 plus 3y quantity raised to 0. So in this case, we have this first expression, x squared raised to 0 or quantity raised to 0. So this part here is equal to 1. So we just write 1. This is for the first expression. Then we have the plus here. Then the second expression is the same. We have 3y quantity raised to 0. So this is also equal to 1. So that means 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Another example. This time we have a fraction. Again, 2 has an assumed exponent 1, which is positive. Also 4 has an assumed exponent 1, which is also positive. But on this part here we have xy squared quantity raised to 0. So this part here is just equal to 1. So if we are going to simplify this expression, so we just simply copy 2, which is this one. Then we copy plus. Again, this part here is equal to 1 because the exponent is 0. So we have 1 over, we have 4. So we simplify the fraction, that is 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 over the denominator, which is 4. So this is now our answer. So let's proceed now to examples containing a negative exponent. So first we have m raised to negative 2. This time, as I've said, for negative exponent, any number raised to negative exponent is just equal to its positive reciprocal. So meaning, if we are going to simplify this one, this expression containing the negative 2 exponent, so we can write this one as, we get the reciprocal 1 over m squared. So this time, our exponent now is positive. So this is now our final answer. Now, if you will ask, where did we get 1 here? Since this expression, so we have here a raised to negative n, it has an assumed denominator 1. So when we get the reciprocal, we get the reverse of this expression. So the 1 will now be in the numerator and we have a raised to n in the denominator. So the same thing happens here. Okay, next example. We have 3x raised to negative 3. So in this example, since we do not have a parenthesis, so that means only x is raised to negative 3. Our 3 here, which is the coefficient of x, has a positive exponent 1. So therefore, if we are going to simplify this one, applying the law on negative exponent, so we just simply get the reciprocal of x. The 3 shall remain in the numerator. So meaning, we will have 3 over x cubed. The 3 shall remain in the numerator since it has a positive exponent. And the reciprocal of x raised to negative 3 is 1 over x cubed. So 1 over x cubed and 1 times 3 is 3. That's why we have here 3 over x cubed. This is different when you are given 3x quantity raised to negative 3. This is different because of the parenthesis. That means the quantity inside the parenthesis is raised to negative 3, both the 3 and the x. So if we are going to simplify this one, we can write 1 over 3x quantity cubed. So this is now our answer. For this example, this is our answer. Say next example. Negative 5x y squared z cubed quantity raised to negative 3, still raised to negative 3. Now this time, since the expression is enclosed with a parenthesis, so that means everything here is being raised to negative 3. So if we are going to simplify this one, we just get the reciprocal, so we have 1 over, we copy negative 5 xy squared z cubed quantity raised to 3. Now, we can simplify further by applying the law on power of a product. So this is now our answer. But actually, we can simplify further by using the law on power of a product. But this time, we will just remain at this point here. Also, with this example, we can express this one. 3x quantity cubed, apply the law on power of a product, so that becomes 27x cubed. Now, next example, we have 4a times b quantity raised to negative 2. Only b is being raised to negative 2, so we will get the reciprocal of b. So what shall remain in the numerator shall be 4a. So we have 4a over b squared. So this becomes positive. Another, 5x raised to negative 5. So again, 5 is raised to positive 1. So our final answer would be 5 in the numerator over the denominator x raised to positive 5. So this is now our answer. Okay, so that's it. I hope you have learned something from this video. I still have other videos here. You can click these videos. And please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share to your friends. So for now, thank you and God bless.